Hello, my name is Mark Helm, and I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and I'm the creator of the Self-Storage Quick Start Academy. And I support people who are getting in the self-storage business, and I support people who want to grow their self-storage business, strategically do so in a way that creates true wealth and a fulfilling career. It is the best business in the world for the smaller investor. And I can remember one day I was leaving, I'm a commercial real estate agent as well, and I was leaving a particularly challenging meeting with a client of ours where we have a shopping center for lease, and we were attempting to negotiate a deal on a space in there, and it was really frustrating meeting, and we weren't there yet, and I got in the car and I'd just gotten on the expressway and I was leaving, and the phone rang, and I looked down at the phone and it was the manager at one of our facilities, and I thought, oh Lord, what does this person want now? And I answered the phone, and she very excitedly said, I just hit my monthly goal. I was $3,500 behind, Mark, when I walked into work today, and I just got someone to come in I've been working with for weeks. They haven't paid what they owe us, their past due, and right now I'm $42 ahead. And I looked down and I remembered it is the last day of the month. All of a sudden my day just got better. And why did it get better? Well, it's not the money, although I like the money and I like winning my goals. But why my day got better was I was reminded what it looks like when you're with someone who takes 100% responsibility for what their commitments are. And that's who that manager was that I was talking to. Now, all of a sudden, I had a totally new outlook, a totally new way of being, and how I was going to make that real estate deal happen. Now, what happened is that manager just didn't wake up on the last day of the month and go, wow, I'm behind, I better do something today. No, that's not what happens. What a good manager does, and we're in the management series now, so I want to talk about this. I want to talk about how good managers relate to their goals, particularly the number one KPI we talked about, income per month. My experience is most managers, that's the number one thing they relate to in their storage business the most, is how much money they bring into the facility. Sure, they've got their eyes on the other KPIs, and not all managers are like this, but most managers, that's how they relate to their facility, how much money they're bringing in. And what a great manager will do is around mid-month, they'll have a reality check. Now, in this reality check, what they're doing is they're looking at all their goals, their KPIs, and they're assessing, where am I? Am I going to hit this one, or am I not going to hit this one? And if they're not going to hit this one, then what a good manager will do is start taking actions right then that's going to change the predictable outcome of that month's income. Now, what are some of the things they do? Well, the easiest and number one thing is you go to your delinquencies and start making delinquency calls again. Now, a good manager is always making delinquency calls. One of the things I look for when I go into our facilities, I don't always say something, but what I've noticed is great managers, all of them, are going to have a sheet of paper on their desk with the delinquencies, and there'll be all kinds of notes next to them, when they've called, what they've said. Yes, all that stuff goes in a computer, but what I've noticed is most great managers always have that delinquency sheet close to them. And when you realize you're not going to hit your target, that's the number one place you can go to get income. Why? Because those people have said, I will pay you, I owe you, and all you've got to do is get the money. So the number one thing a great manager will do to make up ground is double down, triple down on those delinquency calls. I've also had managers come to me and say, can I run a special, please? I've got all these 5x10s, and those are the only ones sitting here, and I can't rent them. Let me run a special. You don't see that as much anymore today, and with the high occupancy rates we're all experiencing, but that's another way I've seen. And of course, selling more retail. If you're averaging $10 a move in on your retail, double down. Make it $20 per move-in. Run specials on retail items. Move product that's been sitting on the shelf that hasn't moved. And of course, tenant insurance. What if, to make up ground, a great manager picked the phone up or sent emails and followed up with all the current customers who don't have tenant insurance and sell them? Imagine if we can get 10%, 20% more of our current customer base using tenant insurance. That's a quick way to make up ground. A good manager will have a reality check mid-month to see whether they're going to make their goals or not. Now, of all the things I've said, having the reality check is the most important. Now, here's what most people do, including you and I. Most people on anything, if we have a reality check and it comes up negative, that's hard to be with. Why? Because we usually make it mean something about ourselves. We usually make it mean something like, oh, there I go again, I'm not going to hit it, or I know I'm not that good. And that's hard to be with. So what people will real quickly do is they'll look for an excuse. And there's plenty of excuses out there. It's fall. The owner asked too much. The market's saturated with storage right now. I mean, there's a million things that you can make up to excuse why you're missing your goals and then go back to whatever you're doing. What a great manager is able to do is to not make it mean something about themselves. It just means I'm not on target to hit my goals. And if you can be with that and not make it mean something negative about you, then you're freed up to take whatever actions you need to take to hit your goals. Now, as an owner, I really look hard for that as we're interviewing managers. Now, I can't ask that question, but I ask questions that let me into their world. And one of the things I'm assessing is, as I'm talking to a potential manager, is this going to be someone who can do a reality check, and if it comes up negative, is able to powerfully take actions and not excuse it away. That's a hard thing to ascertain in 1 or 2 meetings, but that's really what I'm looking for when we're hiring a manager. And what I've noticed is great managers are able to do that. That manager who called me that day had just done that and just won their game. I'm inspired by that. I'm inspired by our managers, and my commitment is that if you're getting in the self-storage business, you inspire yourself and you get inspired by the people you hire. So my name's Mark Helm. I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and I'm the creator of the Storage World Analyzer, a fantastic tool for analyzing facilities that we're considering purchasing, we're considering building, or we're considering buying and expanding. It's a great tool to analyze future cash flows, and we use it powerfully to get loans, to get equity and partners, and to look at how is this facility going to fit in our portfolio. You can go to creatingwealththroughselfstorage.com, find out more about it, or go to storageworldanalyzer.com. Thank you very much. Let me know how you're doing. I look forward to hearing from you. See you later.